Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang in mid-June? We are still in Gemini season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang in mid-June. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out here and have some fun, my friends. There we go. Cool. Sleepy. Very sleepy. Okay. Are you a little sleepy or is someone else a little sleepy? This doesn't just have to be that. It could be very imaginative, and this is something I do often see in readings with people with water sign placements, right? There is this watery aspect to it, and there can be a spiritual hint to this. But before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lady here. She looks like she's in a fetal position or some sort of yogic pose, wrapped up in a blanket. Whether she's meditating, praying, sleeping, all of the above, like even the background, it does seem a bit like a dreamscape. And there's some other cards in this deck that have a similarity. So it does make me think of dreamland. So for some Scorpios, hopefully you're not feeling too tired. Hopefully you're sleeping well. I know a lot of Scorpios are night owls, right? Me being one of them. But yeah, this energy here feels like either it's very, very chill or it's very, very tired. Like that's the main vibe here. Now, if we put all that to the side, this can also be very dreamy, imaginative, creative type of energy, which again, as people with water signs, that's something that's inherently embedded to water sign placements, is that there's a need for some sort of emotional outlet through any sort of creative means. So now could be a great time, whether it's great ideas for problem solving or just something to put your energy in. It could be anything, even a hobby. So I think this can be really good. But then I do have this other thing about like spirituality and mindfulness and prayer. So this is very loaded. Even though it's simple, this week it feels very loaded. We're just going to put her down right there. Hopefully it's a nice chill vibe. The only downside I could see with this is potential overthinking. So that's just something to be aware of. We're going to let her chill out. She seems like she doesn't want to be bothered. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled The Surprising Change. Now, I always say that life is about perpetual change, right? Things are always shifting, things are always changing. Most times it's slower than others. But to me, it seemed like something potentially did like a night and day 180 type of shift. Now, I felt for a lot of Scorpios, it actually could be for the better, where it's like we start at night and then it's daytime. But just watch out, especially over the coming days and weeks. There could be a whole variety of things, situations that where it's like, okay, it was this way. Now it's completely different. That was the big vibe. But I did feel for most Scorpios it was a good thing, like improvement based. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do we got in mid-June, please? Cool. All right. Ace of Cups position number 1. That's a pretty good start. I'm going to get that sleeping lady out of the way and get our ace right there by the amethyst. I'm chilling out. Let's get a couple more here. That's a good start. Yeah, very chill. Very, very chill. Okay. We got the 4 of Swords. That same similar vibe we were seeing with that. It's calm. It feels super calm. Let's get one more. What do we got for Scorpio gang? Okay. All right. Then not. So we got 2 totally different vibes here, Scorpio. And we're going to have to really see how it plays out. I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad thing or a rough and rugged road. It's just really unique the way all this energy is presenting itself to me. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements, and I feel like we have a pretty good mixture this week. That's one thing we do have going for us, right? We have water, air, and fire. Cool. It's like we got the realm of feelings, thoughts, and action. And we're going to go a little more in depth. Now, when it comes to the water, that is your power zone. That's your comfort zone. That's your power element. So Scorpio is, in fact, a water sign, and that is the realm of matters of emotion, matters of the heart. Things, people, situations that we care about, things that we're emotionally invested in. With that sleepy lady from the beginning, water is the imagination. It's the creativity. It's that emotional, artistic expression. So I like it. It's really good, especially in a Scorpio reading. And yes, it does also deal with partnerships and love and all that kind of stuff. The only downside to water is that it could be very intense and it can overwhelm. So that's something to watch out for, right? But if any sign can deal with water energy, of course it's Scorpio. Then here in the center we have air, total opposite, right? Like where we have matters of the heart, swords are matters of the mind. Very logical, very practical, extremely pragmatic. It's strategic, it's planned out. Air deals with giving and receiving information. This deals with our perspective and how we view things in a logical manner. So I think air can be very good. It's also tied into communication. The only downside to air is that sometimes it could be a little too cold, a little too detached, a little too clinical, if that makes sense. So we have the heart and mind. We have leading with the emotions, leading with the logic. So we're going to need to see what's up, especially on the back end with this Five of Wands, which is fire, the realm of action, where it's like, I mean, whether it's actions you take, actions you want to take, actions that other people take, all of it falls under this fire umbrella, right? It could be health and vitality. It could be energy levels, which I've been saying for most of the reading, it seems pretty chill until we get to the Five of Wands. So we'll see when we clarify it. But fire is good for get up and go and motivation. The only downside to fire is that sometimes it could be unpredictable. It could be very explosive, and it does show up a lot in Scorpio readings. So I think Scorpio works well with it. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Ace of Cups. Now, I love all aces because they all represent offers and opportunities. They're a new energy, they're a fresh energy. So I never dislike them, especially starting off a reading with it. And I haven't started a reading with an ace in a while for anyone. So this is pretty good. Now, the Ace of Cups is a little different from the other ones. This one is more leading with the heart, leading with emotions. It does also tie into partnerships and people around us, just like the suit would inform us. So I think the Ace of Cups is actually really good. So whether this is a heart to heart, whether this is a conversation, whether this is an offer that's made to you, whether it is an emotional offer or otherwise, Ace of Cups could be really, really great because it has a ton of potential. Now, what might be the downside to the Ace of Cups? It's not permanent, right? And it's limited time only, right? Like when it comes to all aces, if the universe hands it to you and you do not grab it, that ace will go away. It's going to take a little walk. So we need to keep an eye on this. And again, especially if it's conversational with the next card over, it does seem pretty chill. And it could just represent someone's emotional state too. So there's a lot of things that this Ace of Cups could tell us. Now, moving to the middle, we get a very similar vibe to what we saw with the sleepy lady in the very beginning, right? We have this person. What are they doing? Looks like they're sleeping, praying, meditating, all those things, manifesting, like you name it. It's all very similar, right? It all taps into the same energy, but that's what this person is doing. Now, the Four of Swords in its classic sense can represent taking a break, taking a pause, rest, recuperation, letting something be, not taking action. Again, it's a very unbothered, calm, chill type of energy, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. So there could be certain things, whether you're taking a vacation, whether you're pressing the pause button on something, where you're giving something a little bit of time, all that can be in place. However, when we have the Four of Swords, this energy can also be very frustrating because it can represent blockages or perceived blockages. It could represent energy that doesn't seem to be doing a damn thing, right? So, like, it can represent frustrating things, situations, and problems. We just need to see what clarifies it. Now, moving to the back end, it's like the energy does the flip that we were speaking about from last week because we have the Five of Wands. So, like, the first cards, like from the Sleepy Lady all through here, chill, nice and quiet. And then boom, we come in with the Five of Wands. And this is one of those cards I always say you don't need to be an expert in tarot to understand what it means, right? You got five people who are beating the crap out of each other with sticks. Now, in the good sense, this is a very determined card. It can represent when you set your mind to something, you will not give up. When I decide on it, I will push through. I will not quit. I will not give up. So there's a lot of staying power and determination, which is a beautiful thing with this Five of Wands. But when we get to the challenge, this card could be very aggressive. This card could be angry. This card could be mad. This card could be very pushy and conflict based. So, whether it's an internal conflict, an external conflict, another person, I mean, maybe you're chill and this is outside noise. It's very possible. Or we could just be looking at the actions that someone is going to take or is about to take, which I find intriguing, especially with the fire air combo here on the back end. So, I think we have ourselves a classic, not complicated, but in depth, nuanced Scorpio reading, right? Because the energy does do some sort of shift. I want to dive deeper on all of it, though. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right. Let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Scorpio gang, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your based knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ace of Cups. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Ace of Cups here? Please. Thank you. Cool. All right. We got our good pal, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, which is also a Scorpio power card in reverse underneath this Ace of Cups. Now, for a lot of Scorpios, this could absolutely represent somebody needing to get something off their chest. Whether it's you, whether it's somebody else coming to you, maybe a combination of both, this could absolutely be some sort of emotional talk. Because usually the King of Cups is an energy that's very buttoned up. Right. And again, speaking as a Scorpio moon, I know how sometimes it's not always easy to read what we're feeling from the outside, right? And when I see the Ace of Cups with the King of Cups in reverse, it's like I feel something and I need to let someone in, or I need to tell someone about it. So could this be an emotional talk of some kind? Absolutely. It does feel like allowing someone in. Now, that could be someone letting you in too. So keep that in mind. There might be a lot of really deep, in-depth conversations, like really spilling it when I see this here in the front. Because the King of Cups, yes, it's about emotional balance. Remember, kings represent control of their suit and the suit of emotion, emotional balance. I got this. I got this under control. Don't worry about it. But one of the downsides of the King of Cups is, yeah, it could have a hard exterior. And that's also usually a Scorpio trait, where a lot of times we don't let people know how affected we are about something, or we have a hard time opening up about certain things. When he shows up in reverse under the Ace of Cups, it's like, okay, you want me to let you in? I'll let you in. Or, yeah, it does feel like some sort of emotional talk. We're just going to keep going. I want to see how it all plays out. Let's see what's up. We're going to go in on the Four of Swords. So double down to this water type of energy. And I don't necessarily say that it has to be the Scorpio doing this. It could be somebody else coming to you because they may trust you. Let's see what's going on with the Four of Swords. Why is that Four of Swords here? Yeah, okay. It's a very comforting, let me comfort you type of energy. It's much softer than I'm used to in a Scorpio reading, which is kind of making me skeptical about this energy here on the back end, because I'm telling you, like, the energy has been like so soft, so caring, so nice, right? All of this, it's like, yeah, cool. But why this? Why this then on the back end if all this energy is so nice? Anyway, so we have Temperance in the upper eight. The Archangel Michael, the defender, right? Temperance is Saggy energy. What's Saggy or this Temperance all about? Calm, chill, relax, restrained, refrained, buttoned up. So under a card like this Four of Swords and we have Temperance, it's like, let me soothe you, let me calm you, let me make you feel better. Now, if that's you helping others, that's a beautiful thing, right? Like that's something that you may find very rewarding, or whether it's somebody doing that for you. Like there is this calming, soothing type of energy. Like if you have a pet, like a cat or a dog, and you're just hanging out on the couch, petting your pet, and it's just nice and calm. Like that's kind of how this feels to me. Like I'm just chilling out, relaxing, which I mean, that's not the most wild tarot reading subject matter, but that's what I'm feeling. So it is chill. Now, it could be frustrating for some of you, right? Like with the Four of Swords and Temperance, it doesn't seem to be doing a damn thing. So if there's a situation that you want to change and it's not changing, or if there's someone that's being like really blah and boring, like that's the only downside I could see here in the center, is that it's so calm that it almost feels a little bland. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going because let's see what the Five of Wands has. Like the energy is normally for our Scorpio readings, I'm used to a certain level of intensity, and that is not it, right? So maybe this is someone else's energy. Let's go in on the Five of Wands. Okay, and there it is. There it is, Scorpio. Okay. And again, I'm not going to say this is like a bad thing because the intensity does ramp back up though pretty big. It's pretty hardcore, right? So this is action based. This is definitely action based. We got the moon in reverse underneath this Five of Wands. Now, for some of us, like when I have all this chill energy and this emotional energy that's working itself through, for some Scorpios, some sort of physical activity could be really good to transmute built up, pent up energy. So just know for some Scorpios in this time, you might be getting more physically active, or maybe you need to get more physically active to really transmute this. But when I see the Five of Wands with the moon in reverse, it's like, I am not confused anymore. I know what I'm doing and I'm going to do it right now. I had my time to relax. I had my time to rest. Now it's go time. So it is like that really intense, fiery, explosive action on the back end. So it's like we go from 0 to 100 here. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because the moon is one of the most subtle cards in the whole entire deck. Pisces energy, Cancer energy, more water sign energy. It works with Scorpio, right? It's chill, it's calm, it's nighttime when everyone's relaxing and chilling, right? It's a card of mystery. It's super subtle and it can speak of intuition. When I see it in reverse, it's like, okay, time for subtleties is over. The time to act is now. So, like, to me, if anything, this energy is recuperating, recharging its battery, and then boom, right back to business. Recharge, recuperate, boom, explosive action type of energy, or sudden or serious action. I'm just throwing labels out there just to try to really impress upon the mind how it feels to me. Because I was thinking with all this chill energy on the front, I'm like, all right, well, where'd all the Scorpio intensity go? It all comes back at once. So that could be good for some of you, depending on the situation. For others, watch out for that because it's like the energy's calm, 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 nothing's happening. Boom, super intense. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow here. And again, I don't necessarily feel like this is a negative reading by any means, but if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the Ace of Cups, King of Cups in reverse. This could be some sort of like emotional talk, emotional venting sesh. It feels okay to me, right? Everyone needs to do that from time to time, whether you're talking to a friend or a professional. It's cool. Um, Moving to the middle, the energy seems calm and chill, right? We got the Four of Swords and Temperance, relaxed. And this could be someone like recharging, recuperating the batteries. And to me, I was getting images of someone just chilling on a couch, hanging out with their pet or something. I don't know. It just felt like really calmed and relaxed type of energy. But then, boom, we get to the back end, Five of Wands with the moon in reverse, like the sudden action, serious action, explosive action, just completely out of the blue. So we do still have that archetype that we had last week where certain actions could do a quick switch on you. Certain things could change overnight where it's like, okay, it's really calm, then it's not. Or it's really rough, now it's really good. We're getting the 180 effect here still. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for Scorpio gang? Thank you. Cool. Yeah, 10 of Wands. Maybe some of you do need a little recuperation or a break for something, because the 10 of Wands is one of my cards that's like a very heavy energy, and again, it's fire, but it's a burden, right? And I always say, is it physical, that sleepy energy, that tired energy we're picking up? Potentially. Like this could be mind, body, or soul, and it's always the picture of the person that's carrying a heavy burden, right? They're walking up a hill, they have 10 big wands, so there is a heaviness to the energy. So again, for some of you, yeah, maybe you do need this little quiet time, this recuperation, then you could get back at it. when we get to the back end. Once you recharge those batteries, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, with the Ten of Wands, and I'll really, I'll tell you the good side. Yes, this is also determined like the Five of Wands, but when we get into the real shadow side, the Ten of Wands can represent guilt. The Ten of Wands can represent a person that's really hard on themselves. The Ten of Wands can represent someone that's been carrying something with them for a very long time. So again, I'm not going to say what to do about that. I'm just saying that the energy is showing up present in the shadows for whatever reason. But most importantly of all, we have the determination and forward push, and that the energy will change. So, Scorpio, that's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice. The winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.